Minions of the Zoo. In space! Tonight's episode, The Crippled Engine.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the programming. Today, I'm your zookeeper for the day, Tyr Alexander. With me are traveling exhibits, Mitch, Nemo.
Hey, hey.
And Rotncorpse.
What? Where am I? How'd you get here?
I broke in.
You're lucky I recognized you, otherwise I'd have shot you.
Gee,
Not 'cause
thanks,
you're black.
buddy. Nah,
I mean, God, I
Mitch.
wouldn't want to have... Never mind. I'm not supposed to say those words on the Minions.
yeah, we can't. We gotta be PC.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or you could use the magical Tyr Diamantis word.
Well, I was going to say, you know, you got lucky, because if I wouldn't have recognized you, you'd have cops coming in here being like, oh, man, can you believe that? He broke in. Let's sprinkle some crack on him.
I don't want to leave no witnesses.
Oh, yes.
All right, Mitch Nemo, I have to do today's daily,
Works for me.
and God, I'm starting to hate the swarm.
The one I actually enjoy the most is Borg Disconnected, but man, the only thing I hate about it is the damn cutscenes.
Yeah, at least in the swarm, you don't have the cutscenes.
Right.
I do have a question though.
Shoot.
So, the Herc is supposed to be mindless, right?
Ish.
Ish. I'm still trying to figure out how do they have the technical wherewithal to build ships.
I believe that's largely due to the founders.
The Herc are about to overrun this planet.
Have you played through the Gamma Quadrant stuff?
I just tried to skim through it as much as possible.
Okay. If you follow the story in the Gamma Quadrant story arc, episode arc, we learned that the Herc were the first choice for what the Jem'Hadar became for the founders. But and they even used they even got them addicted to the white.
Okay.
But the Herc had, but that the founders abandoned the Herc in favor of the Jem'Hadar, and the Herc had no way to make the white, but they kept propagating. And they never died out and became rather mad. And this is over thousands of years, and they're still addicted to the white.
You'd think the species would have evolved to no longer need the white.
Or to create it within their own systems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, unless the founders foresaw that possibility and did something to prevent it. In the regulations.
Yeah.
But then, well, eventually, we gave them, we gave the Herc their fix.
Their massive fix.
Yeah, and then they stopped being quite mad.
All right, so what is it?
Good morning, James.
Yo, go on, man.
I almost thought you were going to go the orcs from Warhammer 40k route to where it's like, why do they have ships? Because they just don't know.
Yeah, so in 40k, like their whole they believe their ships work, and they did.
So it's just a question of faith.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
like
fine.
so in 40k, the Great Old Ones created the orcs to fight off I believe it was the Tyranids. No, the
cats.
Necron tier. Sorry.
Well done.
And
Jem'Hadar will
because the Necron tier were literally just
satellite is back online.
out eat and destroy anything,
Tractor mines against the
they
Hurk
kind of
ships.
had to give the orcs like massive psychic powers, and their psychic powers make their shit work. Like, if a gun with no clip or magazine, if they believe it'll fire, it will fire.
Oh, right on.
It could not have a barrel.
Yeah, it doesn't have a bar, or like it doesn't have the mechanism. It could just be a toy gun. If they honestly believed it will work, it will work.
It reminds me of an old joke
Mm-hmm.
where a soldier on the battlefield was out of ammo, and he had lost his rifle. I know that's hard to say, but one of his cohorts told him, "Here, take this broomstick, aim it at the enemy, and just say 'gun' every time you see an enemy, and you'll kill him." The guy's like, "What, you crazy? That isn't gonna work." It's like, "Yeah, it is. Trust me. Give it a shot." I don't think get out back on the battlefield. He's got his broomstick, and he sees enemy soldiers coming his way. And he's like, "Gun, gun, 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 gun!" And
The last of the
soldiers are
refugee
going
ships
down.
ready.
He's killing these fuckers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Left and right. So he just keeps going. Gun, 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 gun. And all these soldiers are dying around him. But then one shows up and starts coming at him, and he goes, "Gun, gun." And the guy won't die. Just gun, gun. He's getting more panic. He's just losing his fucking shit. Gun, 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 gun. And the guy just won't fucking die. And then the guy finally gets close enough, and the last thing you heard was that guy going, "Tank, tank, tank, tank."
I love that joke.
Oh no, this is a good one.
Yeah, although I heard it with using a finger gun.
Oh yeah, that'll work too.
Best line ever said for a gun is, "You bang."
Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
Yes.
You get a bonus point if you can name the actor who said it, and an extra bonus point if you can name the movie.
It was Charles Ray. At least in Never Hike Alone 2 is one
But you didn't name the actor. You named the character.
I know, I can't remember the actor's name.
The actor's name is Vinny Guastafaro,
Refugee ships.
and he actually originally said that in Friday the 13th Part 6
Get over
Okay.
there.
as Deputy Rick Cologne.
Hurk dreadnought.
Again, it was an epic gap.
Oh yeah, he went out like a goddamn hero, man. Can never hike alone too. I know, James. I know.
We don't make fun of the name anymore. After we saw it, it's pretty epic.
After
It's
you
not
said,
making fun of the name,
after
it's
that,
making fun of the way I say it.
Who's that?
okay, when he says that, the first time he said that, I thought he said, "Never high cologne."
Yeah, I know.
And that's what I hear.
Isn't that funny
And
how that works?
I love
'Cause, I mean, there are still things that I hear today that I first heard as a kid and heard them wrong, and I still hear them the wrong way.
So there,
Yeah,
it's not even that. It's an audio. All right, so if you ever listen to the misheard lyrics for stuff.
Oh
and-
yeah.
So if you listen to one called "Old Fortuna," and if you see it,
Refugee ships heading down escape route
like
Alpha.
the words
Protect
on the
them.
screen, your brain will start hearing it because it's something audio wise.
Yes.
Like it's
Well,
like a,
I mean, it's
Hurk
sort of,
ships spotted
Right.
at escape route Gamma.
it's sort of like Manfred Mann's rendition of blinded by the light.
Yeah,
Oh, revved up like a douche.
You know.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's theorized that every human is actually has a mild form of synesthesia, which is where our brain misinterprets input. So like you can see words.
Well, I thought synesthesia was when like you can smell colors. It's
Yeah. Yeah,
it's when one sensory input
it's wrong.
overrides another.
Yeah. Well, it's a mild. Every human has a mild form of it.
Oh yes.
You know.
I taste the color food and I fart rainbows.
So
But when
your
you
brain,
mishear something, and I think that's closer to something known as hemisync,
okay.
where like if you play the record backwards, and your brain can decide what it hears.
Yes.
Get over there.
So I think what we're talking about is more directly related to that.
Refugees heading down escape route Alpha. Protect
God damn it, escape route Alpha. Off my ass.
I'm just sitting here gamma popping shit left and right, having a good old time.
You know me, Mitch. I gotta be in the thick of things.
Oh yeah.
Here's some trivia for you.
Right?
What's that?
What was Luke Skywalker's call sign in Star Wars?
Red 5.
Simply red. Cut it off.
We used to have so much fun with that movie. We'd sit and watch it because it was fucking Star Wars and it was the 90s and it had been out for a long time, but we'd still sit and fucking watch it because that's when a movie was good. And every time we'd get to that X-Wing battle at the end and they'd start, Red 2 standing by, Red 1 standing by, Red 5 standing by. We'd be sitting there watching going, Red Rover standing by, Red Cross standing by.
Red Fox standing by.
Yeah.
Red box.
And we just throw any red whatever we could into the mix. It's funny how you start to enjoy movies by pulling something of an MS3 TK on them after a while.
Yeah.
Get over there.
Shit, remember
Well,
we watched the X-Wing story, they were doing it. So we started doing it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we do it every week on Never Watch Alone.
Yeah.
Well, I still think the best time I have never had was when I tried to get stoned and watch Sharknado 2.
Hold on. Cheryl Goraz says Star Wars is better than Star Trek, and he says Red Rocket standing by.
There you go.
Red Dog Milk.
Especially the big red dogs standing by.
Red Rider standing by.
Red stripe standing by.
Hooray, X-Wing!
Shilgarath's in chat. Hey, birthday buddy.
That's everyone.
He and I have the same birthday.
Blessings of the mad god to you, Cheryl Goraz. I hope you bless me with cheese.
Blessings with cheese. That needs to be on a bumper sticker or something. Just no context. Blessings with cheese, and let the people reading it figure it out. Let them ponder that as they go on their aimless journey to Starbucks to get their fucking pumpkin spice latte.
May the cheese be with you.
No, see, because if you say "May the cheese be with you," because of the Star Wars reference, they'll think you're just making a goofy Star Wars reference. They'll figure it out too easily. But blessings with cheese, that's confounding them.
Go forth in cheese.
Go forth with cheese, my son.
Go forth with cheese. May Gouda be with you.
Blessings with
always.
cheese. May you be Gouda with Christ.
Be good with Christ.
Gouda with Christ.
On the other side of the bumper, have one that says "Beans make the journey."
May your nachos forever be flavored.
Fuck them. You know, fuck them if they can't figure it out. It's not your concern anymore, man. You've
They
done
drive
your
up
part.
next to you like, what the fuck did your bumper sticker mean?
You've issued the message. The interpretation is all on them. Fuck them.
I'm going to do a random.
If they ask you what it means, just don't give them the fucking pleasure.
And then here's one that can be taken any sort of way. Meet the meat.
Yeah. Oh, God. Park in front of a vegan restaurant with that shit.
You know, it can be taken anyway.
You know what? You know another one I'd like to have? One that just simply says "Praise gluten." I might put that on a t-shirt. Praise gluten. Because these fad dieters bounce around pretending they have celiac disease. And they insist that they have no gluten in anything. And I'm sure I've told this story before. I'm going to tell it again because it pisses me right now. Fuck, I just want to strangle them, mother, kick them in the dick. These people.
Hold on. Ray Lewis says, have you guys read the novelization of Star Wars? Good book and definitely expands the movie. And he says, blessings with cheese sound like something from Spaceballs.
It kind of does.
Merchandising.
This is a thing that really griped my ass as working in a restaurant. All right,
Okay.
because there are things you have to know. You have to understand cross contamination. You have to know how to prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
And when certain special orders come in, you have to damn well prevent it. There are anaphylaxis is nothing to laugh at. You know.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
And you can't count on someone carrying their own EpiPen. That would be people being responsible for themselves. So here's what they do, and this is all the fad dieters. They all come in and claim they have a gluten allergy. Now I got to preface this a little bit more actually. We had some damn fine breadsticks at this Italian restaurant I worked at.
Okay.
And I had actually revolutionized the process to make them, so that when the raw dough would proof, it would. I arranged the twist in them in a way that they would proof really fucking big.
Okay.
Without using way more dough.
Okay.
So yeah, the secret was in the twist. So these were garlic and Romano breadsticks, garlic butter and Romano. And not only that, this was real bread. It wasn't fucking gluten free. We didn't do gluten free breadsticks. There was also what the fuck was that stuff called? Breadcrumbs in our meatballs.
Okay.
So people would come in, claim to be, they want the gluten free spaghetti.
So they wanted just meatballs.
So we gave them the gluten-free spaghetti. No, they wanted the gluten-free pasta. So because we did the gluten-free pasta.
Okay.
But they'd get the gluten-free pasta, and then they'd have the nerve to complain that there was no meatballs in their spaghetti. It's like, well, like we told you, that there's gluten in the meatballs. Oh, well, that much won't hurt me. But where's my breadstick? It's like, oh, you fucking love.
Oh, God.
Really?
Yes. This is what the public is like. They will lie out their ass to get what they think they want, and then complain about getting what they claim to want when it's not what they actually want. Like, you know what? Just order what you really fucking want. It's okay. You can have the spaghetti. You don't have a gluten intolerance if you're sucking down all the breadsticks. But dish breadstick comes with the spaghetti and meatballs. The breadsticks were homemade, the meatballs were homemade, the pasta wasn't. But hey, what do you do, right? The sauce was homemade. I mean, we put all kinds of fucking work into this shit just to have people pull that kind of nonsense. It's just 7 layers of just get out of my restaurant. Get out of here. You ignorant twit. So
Dumb bastard.
Now, what planet are these people from?
Again, that
yes.
It infuriates me, man. That's why I value
You know what's
the
even
good
worse?
so much.
You know what's even worse? The same fuckers are allowed to vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, and I know we shouldn't go too much into politics, but I'm kind of annoyed that no one's considered that RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard are the very stepping stones that got us to where we are right fucking now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No one wants all the idiot men are horny for Gabbard for some reason. She's not that good looking. Honestly, it looks like somebody put the fire on her face out with sandpaper.
Damn, Mitch. Wow. How you really feel?
Like,
Call him like
I'll
I see
still
him,
say
man.
this. I think she's attractive. I don't think she's that attractive.
Yes, I think she's attractive, but I don't think she's that attractive. I will completely agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, and I bet she's nowhere near as skilled as Harris. Well, anyway.
when it comes to sucking dick out, you're right. Harris has a beat.
I mean,
Well, I will say this. As long as you limit AOC to yes or no questions, I think she would be great to have dinner with.
no.
Well, James, if I wanted to eat out of a trough with a horse, I would just fucking go to a barn.
I mean, look, let's be honest in that whole situation. We need to stop comparing AOC to donkeys. Like, donkeys are actually cool and whatnot because they will straight up wreck house on fucking coyotes.
And they're useful.
Sorry. And they will, and not only that, they will wreck house so much that they will fucking kill a donkey and then, or not kill a donkey, kill a coyote and then play with its corpse basically as a warning to other coyotes to stay the fuck out of it.
Look,
My
they will
understanding is that she actually went to a prom with her cousin, Mr. Ed.
Why you gotta insult Mr. Ed like that?
man, come on now. You know Mr. Ed's on some hard times.
Like I said, I call him like I see him, and I'm just annoyed that so many people are willing to give a free pass to these people because they're mistaken thinking that they've joined the right side. Well, I got news for you. That's exactly what infiltrators do.
Look, all right, I'll put it to you like
if
this.
anyone
Mitch.
thinks I'm being too harsh about this, go look up their voting records. That's all you
Mitch,
need to know.
I'll put it to you like this. Desperate times make strange bedfellows.
I just hope that President Trump is keeping a weather eye on these two because
Yeah.
they are betrayers of the American concept of liberty.
Oh yeah.
Agreed. But like I said, desperate times make strange bedfellows.
Hey, if it gets them,
You know,
President Trump the votes to win, I'm in. But then cart him off to some useless fucking position in the cabinet.
I mean, making them House Secretary would be a good idea. I think he should bring back Ben Carson as House Secretary and whatnot, but it's just me. I'd rather an actual fucking doctor be there.
I'll say
Well,
this.
Ben Carson is a doctor.
Yes, that's why I
I'll
said
say
I'd rather an actual doctor
Oh,
be in
okay.
there.
I'll say this with RFK Jr. though, as long as wherever they put him in a role where he really doesn't talk. Like I understand he has an actual thing of cause from that, but still,
I don't mind his voice. I've heard worse.
I've heard worse as well. That doesn't mean I want to hear it. You know, someone sounds like they're grating cheese.
Well, you want to know what kills me about RFK's voice? Is
What?
I've been in a position to have that voice, and it is exhausting to speak when you have that voice. So I do give him credit for that, but at the same time, all I can hear is how exhausting it is. And it actually wears me out because I can physically relate to what he's going through there.
Okay.
Yeah. I can feel
Well,
it's on.
Hello, Tragic Gardener.
I can feel his voice right now. I've got the election variant.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ! It's Tragic. Run, everybody! I mean, hey, Tragic. How are you?
well, you know, quite honestly, with the conspiracy theories that RFK has,
Yes.
I mean, if you're going to go with conspiracy nuts, wouldn't Jesse the Body Ventura be a much better choice? And to top that off, he has that better
Yo, Will, we're sitting in
wrestling
Rodney's
voice.
Discord if you want to join in.
Thing is, Jesse Ventura's too busy living in the Baja.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's safe and protected from all things where he's currently at. So
I've got the foil just right.
but
Living
every
in
time
the
I see
Baja.
so
Yeah,
I seen,
Jim.
wait, so I seen Jesse Ventura in Abraxas, and I cannot unsee him as Abraxas even after I watch Predator. I just cannot stop seeing him as Abraxas.
We did we were working on an animated back, and one of the characters, I forget what his name was, but he looked like Jesse the Body Ventura, the old man version of Jesse Ventura, but in a Hawaiian shirt. And he was a neighbor character, and he had this kind of a voice right here. I don't know what the hell's going on with you kids. Always making your internet noise on you're talking on the TV or some damn thing. But you know, I love being able to do voices like that. It's fun. I got hemorrhoids.
Well, hell, because it. Sorry.
Well, it helps being an old man.
No, mine was like because of just finishing eating. I'm still hacking up stuff because it just happens. The warm
Got that
food actually
phlegm.
starts breaking loose everything.
Oh yes.
But like the whole of actually practicing the Dr. Claw voice in longer segments at work because I don't have to be around anyone. Yeah, it still hurts after a while, but it's
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Yeah.
I'll get
Yeah.
you next time, Gadget.
I used to be able to do that, but now no, I've had too many cigarettes to do that without it leaving without it breaking off parts of my esophagus or some shit.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Next time. Takes too much breath for me to do it now too. I don't have the lung capacity.
Yeah,
anymore.
because he speaks so slow. But going with that's even kind of helped me with like when I'm singing death metal in my car. Oh, dude, I've been listening to Motionless recently. So you go from that whole thing of like singing in melody to directly into a scream or a deep voice, and it's fun, but God, can it be terrible for you after a while.
You ought to watch the charismatic voice.
What, Mitch?
You ought to watch the charismatic voice on YouTube. Her name is Elizabeth Zaroff. She's an opera singer who's encountering a bunch of the more well-known rock and metal things for the first time and doing a vocal analysis of them because she's actually into the science of how the vocals work and everything.
Oh yeah,
and just really knowledgeable, and it's fun content, especially if you like the song. When I don't like the song, I can't watch the video. But her analyses are usually pretty spot on, and it's very informative. And she's actually doing a. Am I like jumping into shilling mode now? Is that what's happening?
Go right ahead.
I mean,
She's doing a fundraiser to I think today or tomorrow actually. to raise money for more vocal scientific research.
Oh, nice.
And she's even gotten on with some of those screamo and very guttural singers to
Well, shit. While that's
to
doing that,
learn how to do that.
cuts my
Yeah.
last shit.
Well, I mean, like with that whole thing as well, for some bands, there's always the rumors to start like, well, I like Avenged Sevenfold, and I know not everyone else does. They're actually a very experimental band for what they do because, like, they started out sounding more screamo, then went almost to one of their last albums sounding more almost Metallica-ish and everyone's like, oh, they're only doing that because the lead singer, he had that whole thing to where it's like if he keeps doing that, he had to have vocal surgery, and he was just like, no, that was basically an experimental thing we were going through, and we've progressed past it.
Yeah. Oh, burp it up.
See, everybody, when people start talking about vocal surgery and all that, I go back to that Disturbed concert that I went to. This is before Five Finger Death Punch became a household name.
Okay.
They were an opening band for Disturbed.
Oh, nice.
This is back in like 2007.
Yeah.
So, anywho, halfway
like
through
late 2007, early 2008.
I'm over here cutting my ship. Now I gotta wait for the goddamn thing for you to get out that way. It's all good.
Oh God, I hate this one too.
Halfway through the set, what's his face, frontman for Five Finger Death Punch stops and says, talks about his voice and all that. And it's like, who the fuck are you? You're like the house band. No one gives a shit.
Well, Ivan Moody. Yeah, Ivan Moody is his name if memory serves me correctly. He has a huge issue of doing dumb shit like that because he does have an alcohol problem. Because like, I know a lot of people don't like to hear this. Ivan Moody's actually a very good singer. The rest of the band of Five Finger Death Punch are actually very good musicians. It's just ever since they took off, they've basically once it really got into their third album is where they started phoning it in because that's when Ivan Moody got his head up his ass.
In other words, yeah.
Because like the similar thing happened with Creed and whatnot, where the lead singer had his whole thing of like he had his issues with alcohol and whatnot, and thought he was gonna go solo and blow the fuck up, but then the rest of the band did. I want to say it was not Velvet Revolver. Oh God, Alter Bridge. I think. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the band, but the rest of the band from Creed stayed together and did a different band and were extremely popular.
Hey, keep started with the shit.
What was it? Oh crap! The guy who wrote and directed, or wrote and starred in Repo, a genetic opera.
Ah, can't remember his name.
I don't know which ones.
No, the guy who played the drug dealer.
Oh, you mean the grave robber?
I know you're talking
Grave robber, yes.
I can't remember.
No, that's his character's name is the grave robber.
Yeah. Anywho, it's something like Zudrich is his last name. Begins with a Z.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, he did another one with there's something about a carnival, some kind of the Devil's Carnival. That's what it was. Ivan Moody did do a song on that first volume, and it was pretty good. I mean, I didn't know who it was, but I'm going, I like this. But yeah, he does range. But when you're at that time, you know, you're not being paid for your what, you know. Just do your job.
You're not the headliner. Stop trying to act like the
Yeah.
headliner.
Yeah.
Like I can bring that one up, one similar to that as well. Again, before I joined the military, way before I joined the military, when City of Evil from Avenged Sevenfold came out, they were touring with CKY, but Avenged Sevenfold was the headliner, and CKY was being a bunch of jackasses and trying to act like they were the headliner. And it's like, dude, if you're not the headliner, and you're not performing well enough of where the crowd is loving you, you don't get to act like the headline
Right.
Yeah, headliner. Like, if you're just being a dick because the crowd's not doing what you want and it's not having the reaction you want, play your shit and fucking move on.
What's the word?
If
Know your
only
place?
they would.
Know your role.
Yes, know your role.
Stay in your lane.
Pretty much. Know your place. There was I went to a Queensryche concert in the 90s.
Okay.
And there was a band opening for them. And you knew by the name that they weren't ever going to be anything, right? The band name was Warrior Soul. It's like, oh, shut up. And you guys are warriors the same way that I'm a pope, you know. But they were pretentious as all hell, and they got through one song before the lead singer started getting preachy and pretentious and just fucking demanding respect from the crowd.
Yeah,
basically, and we booed them off because, like, you know, shut up. No one's here for you.
A guy I knew, and that whole thing, we pissed off CKY so much that they didn't want to come back to my part of Michigan that I live in or to that Grand Rapids arena, because the chant of "fuck your mom" got started, and when you have all but like 3 people saying it, it'll break your spirits.
Oh yeah.
And we somehow got it. Like, it wasn't like, you know, a bunch of little different ones and whatnot. Like, this was, you know, probably I'm trying to think of how big that place. It's not a big place there. It's a small one. So we're probably talking like 200, maybe 300 people pushed into there. But you got most of those people screaming "fuck your mom" in unison.
Yeah.
What the fuck did he do?
He was being, it's like the lead singer was being a dickhead. He had some pedal that would play like Whitney Houston or some shit, because again, the crowd wasn't reacting the way he thought they should be.
Fuck him.
And just imagining that. It's just so fucking funny.
Hey, the worst thing is when a male lead singer starts behaving like a diva.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
One of my favorites still was like the only thing. Oh god, I'm trying to remember which band it was. I think it was Another Black Day, or it was a different. No, it wasn't Another Black Day. It was during that same concert for one of the guys. Or it's like the bands that was, basically an opening act. They were more of a local and whatnot. Like they did their shill of like, hey, if you guys like this and whatnot, he's like, there's like albums in the back that got a bunch of different music on them, and they're one of our favorite Fs, which is free.
I mean, that's how you get your music out.
And then basically, thank.
That's how you get your music out there. You know,
Yeah.
Everyone loves the word free.
Well, there's that. You don't go out on stage and act like you're king of the hill, even if you're the headliner. You go out there, you do your song and dance like a good little performer.
Before they got the whole military thing, what they were starting. This was during their first major album. I think that one was The Way of the Fist. But they were touring within this moment, and I still have a thing for Maria Brink. And she's got me by like 10 years. And by she's got me by 10 years is I'm the younger one.
Metal Gaga.
Oh, jeez.
But
I know that feeling, man.
Bury Your Dead was there as well, and I know that band. And holy fuck, were they awesome! They actually have done one of the best pits I've ever seen. It was better than when I went to Ozfest when I was 20, because that was when they switched from Red Bull to Monster, so they did free tickets that year. Well, because like Lamb of God had the circle and everything and whatnot, but no, like Bury Your Dead had a thing like they stopped before the breakdown, and the lead singer's like, I want you guys to split it right here. All of you go this way, all of you go this way. When the fucking he's like, when the beat hits, fucking go crazy and crash into each other, and everyone's just like, I can do this.
Ah, fucking mosh pit. I hate those.
So they fucking spread. It's like, separated, had a good at least, I'd say like a 15 feet spread, and then when that fucking beat came down, they fucking came into each other, and I swear I saw people go up and over.
I don't know why,
hate
but
mosh pits.
I don't know why that
Mosh?
just reminded me of a old Steve Martin bit, where because he was playing arenas in the 70s, for fuck's sake, huge.
Really?
Yeah, he was. I mean, just doing stand-up comedy. He was enormous. So he'd be out there doing his show, right? And he'd do like a little sing-along kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be like, all right, everyone on this side of the room. Now everyone on this side of the room sing. And, they do it. And then he'd be like, now, and he'd just point out at random, go, that guy. In a full fucking arena, I don't know why that reminded me of it, but it popped it into my head.
Well, like, I've got to see several different bands because I joined the military, getting to see some festivals and whatnot. Like, I saw Static X before the lead singer who started everything about it and technically had the rights to the name before he passed, and they sounded good live, but they were very underwhelming in their performance. Like Ozzy was pretty dope. Gwar was awesome for their stage presence.
Gwar is full-blown entertainment.
Yeah, they were fucking
Gwar.
great. Lamb of God put on an amazing show as well.
Ozzy Osbourne live always befuddled me.
Why?
Dude, Zakk Wylde can fucking play.
Oh, Zakk Wylde's fine. It's Ozzy himself.
Yeah.
Because when he's singing on stage, he's just walking back and forth on stage and switching hands with the microphone. That's his entire stage presence.
Yeah.
And it fucking boggles me. I don't understand. It's like, dude, this is almost one of the most boring shows I've ever seen. What are you doing? I mean, he sings fine.
If that's the extent of your mind bogglement from Ozzy,
Well, I'm not talking about his offstage persona and the weird ass relationship he has with that plastic surgery wife of his.
Yeah, it's not going with his whole thing of like how well he can sing on stage and whatnot, but it's his on-stage presence.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have that much of a good one.
No, there isn't one.
He's better than others, but he's worse than others.
Yeah. And I just don't get it.
Because like I got to see another band I like, Bullet for My Valentine. They again sounded great live, very underwhelming performance.
Very what?
Underwhelming performance. But then I also got to see they weren't the headliner. The two headliners for that one were Hailstorm, which I hadn't heard of, but they fucking blew it out of the water. They even did their own little like stomp thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the lead singer and rhythm guitarist Lizzie Hale, her and the drummer are siblings. That's her brother.
Yeah.
So like the three of them go off and he's out there and he starts doing the one thing, and then like you just see the other she comes out, jumps on a thing with some drumsticks and is doing a thing. The other two come out, they're doing that as well, just like having a blast, like a little encore thing. And then Seether came out and they had a pretty decent performance, but when you have three people that are playing instruments, it's a little harder to do as much. But they still just had a better stage presence than like Bullet did. and then seeing the bassist when I can't remember which song it was, going back and forth between his bass guitar and an acoustic guitar, depending on whether it was the chorus or the refrain.
And
I
hell,
would
you know,
have loved to see a concert with Bullet for My Valentine's.
And then they also brought Lizzie Hale out during the Seether performance so she could do the version of Broken that Amy Lee did with Seether, where she did Amy Lee's parts. Because originally Broken was done just by Seether itself.
Meanwhile, Queensryche's Jeff Tate, his stage presence is almost non-existent. They go out, they perform, they leave.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of banter with the crowd, but you know, a lot of their material doesn't really lead to that kind of interaction, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I almost prefer that to some of these. I think I see this more with the female singers and female acts, and that's they want to tell you, you know, the music starts to do, you know, and it's a popular song of theirs. What? Yeah, I'm just popping out of it. It's a popular song of theirs that everyone knows and everyone's into. It's like, yeah, fuck. Yeah, team us up again. There we go. And you know, everyone's into it, but she's too busy telling you the story of why she wrote the song, and it's like 5 minutes in. You gonna sing the fucking song yet?
That's why I've typically liked, at least for the two female rock acts, female led, or for the most part, rock acts I've seen, which is, you know, In This Moment and Hailstorm, because neither of them had that. They know they're there to put on a show, and the music's the main centerfold. So quite literally, other than like at the end of, you know, the hey, thanks for listening and whatnot, now next comes this band and give it, you know, cheer loud for them as well.
See, the stage presence thing it's not as easy a thing to work out as one might think at first.
Oh no!
Point I'm trying to make here. It's a complicated thing because you got to know how to work your crowd. You got to know who your crowd is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to know to whom you're appealing, and work that fucking crowd.
Oh God, the gateway to Grathor.
The invasion of Kronos has begun.
Right.
Tyr is working on his Batman act.
Batman.
Oh, he just
speaking of
disappeared.
Batman, we're going to be watching a Batman film. Thursday.
I can't believe I was
A Batman film?
Yeah,
This
Batman
is
fan
how
film.
Batman film.
Yes.
Is it Batman or Batman?
A Batman?
It's a badminton.
Oh, I thought you said bad man.
It's Batman. It's Bill Batman.
He catches the bad guy.
Yeah,
Not bad guy, the bad guy. Just one.
And,
he throws bats at them.
well,
Yup.
isn't his alter ego Ball Boy?
No.
I'm pretty
ball
sure
sack.
Bill Badman's an accountant.
Bill Batman, the accountant, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Bill Batman.
It's funny though. There used to be that kind of entertainment, and usually children's entertainment, because the people creating the entertainment think children are stupid.
And some are.
Yes, some are, but you know, you don't cater to the stupid. If you cater to the stupid, no one has any purpose or any reason to become more intelligent.
I mean, granted, I've heard like a couple of, I think it's like Yo Gabba Gabba and the Wiggles actually put on a hell of a fucking show live.
You know who I would love to see? The Banana Splits. Huh?
I would have loved to have done that stoned.
Of course you would.
Yeah, fucking
You take the edibles and
some ice skating. I can see it.
yeah.
Ship units
Take some edibles with you and go see the Wiggles? Hell yeah. Sounds like a great time.
Honestly,
James just sitting there snoring his mind. He's like, fruit salad, yummy, yummy. I only know that much of that song because of the mashup someone did to where they actually mashed fruits, or it's like the Wiggles fruit salad up with Slipknot's Psychosocial,
there you go.
and it goes really well.
Really?
Yes, it's, dude, some of the ones they've done for that are ridiculous.
But getting back to catering to stupid kids, that's how come SpongeBob has had such a lasting presence.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think
Gateways are admitting it to some of them.
yeah.
I would say SpongeBob
Like
didn't
Annoying Orange.
originally cater to stupid kids. Annoying Orange definitely did. Annoying Orange was just meant to be that annoying.
But then again, look at
Yeah.
Super Friends.
Look at what?
The Super Friends from the 70s. It was basically the Justice League.
Yeah.
It
But, you know, they
Justice
couldn't
League.
call it the Justice League because no one would understand that, so they called it the Super Friends.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Again, because TV people are stupid. But,
Although the Wonder Twins were
no, I'm
awesome.
talking 3 Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twin power activated.
I'm talking in the age of
Oh, the
Wendy,
one-
Marvin, and Wonder Dog.
Oh.
Cool. Blake.
Now, here's my problem with that fucking show. The Super Friends didn't do anything. They went around, you know, Batman swung on a rope. Okay, cool. Superman would fly and use heat vision a little bit. And, you know, Aquaman would talk to a fish. Wonder Woman would throw her lasso and fly around in her invisible jet. But they never did anything to stop the villain because fucking Wendy and Marvin and, well, not so much Wonder Dog, but Wendy and Marvin would fucking talk the villain down. Don't you think it would be nicer if you didn't kill people in the city? And it was never kill people in the city for some reason. It was always some idiot plot like, we're from a planet where it's hotter, so we're going to make it hotter here so we feel comfortable in our skin. And then, you know, Wendy and Marvin show up. Wendy and Marvin show up with, you know, different people like different temperatures and you know, talk the villain down. The Super Friends just there saying, let's get them to the authorities. Fuck you. Little authoritarian pricks.
That's why I like the oh god, it's the joke to where, you know, they have Batman. He's like, you know, if you kill a killer, you didn't remove any killers from the world. There's still that many killers. Right. And then like they see the Punisher, and he's like, unless you kill like 100 murderers, and then there's 99 less.
Yes.
And it's just like, he's not wrong at all.
See, the problem is, you know what the problem is? You know, I honestly believe with Superman was fucking right in Injustice. How many times has Batman captured Joker? He's broken out of Arkham, killed people, and then he gets captured again. How many times? If Batman would just put the dog down, he wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, pulling Atticus Finch.
Like,
yeah, but it's supposed to be that whole thing of, regardless of the situation, him not breaking his
I get it, but Joker is beyond saving. Joker, you can't help Joker.
Yes.
That's why I brought up Atticus Finch. Atticus Finch, if everyone remembers To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus Finch was an attorney who had a devotion to the law. But when he was encountered by a mad dog, he took a rifle and he put that fucker down. It's right there in the movie, man.
Yes,
I never read the book, I'll admit. I never read the book. But Atticus Finch, he cared about the law more than he cared about social mores. And I think Batman can learn a lesson from that.
I think with the Batman thing, it's because of the way it evolved for it to go darker and everything.
Oh yeah,
If you
I
look
think
at-
I think it's part of his trauma.
Yeah, well, if you also look at earlier Batman and whatnot,
He was a gun.
none of, well, no, well, he did have a Colt 1908 hammerless, so a 380, but all of his villains didn't kill people either.
Right.
So, like, early Batman villains didn't kill anyone. It's really not until, like, I'd say you probably get into the 90s, or, like, the late 80s when they find, like, I would say the death of Robin is where they actually started.
Yeah, when
Because
Joker-
they had the, well, yeah, well, they had to vote for the readers to go through and vote whether or not they thought Robin should live.
And that told you something about the audience catering to. Now, the thing is, getting back to that whole thing about Wendy Wonder era of superhero stuff.
Hold on real quick. Any Scooby-Doo show are good outside of Velma and Shaggy and Scooby get a clip.
Velma's been ruined for me.
The interesting thing is when we evolve to the when that medium or that type of storytelling evolved to the point where we're going, okay, what would the philosophical debate between Batman and the Punisher be? That's when it got good. That's why Justice League was a good show, because there was a very kind of, for being an animated kids TV show, a very frank discussion about who should have the power, who should have the decision-making authority when it comes to these people with powers.
Who watches the
Cadmus,
Watchmen?
yeah, Cadmus was kind of right to be worried about what the Justice League would do, and it was a great way to examine that conceptually. Who should, who watches who, and for how long and why, and et cetera, et cetera. It's an interesting.
What it was
debate.
is the Justice Lords had taken over their universe, their Earth, and when they attacked Earth, Cadmus realized. No, it wasn't that. It was when Superman went evil because he got controlled by Darkseid.
Yes, when it was that last episode of the animated series where Darkseid took control, basically.
Yeah, and they realized, holy shit, we couldn't do shit against them.
Right. And now, holy shit, 2.0, there's a whole fucking team of these assholes.
Yeah.
Now there's 7 of them in this whole Oh, wait. Those 7
it's
are
an
now
alliance.
recruiting even more. Yeah. I mean, the Justice League were a threat.
And
even though
proved
the
that they
intentions were good.
they
And
had
it's
that
I'm
fucking
not
giant space
saying
laser.
I'm not saying that they were evil, obviously, but you have to be prepared for that contingency. That's why Batman has that contingency, for Christ's sake.
It was the contingency
Well-
against, for you. You are.
The Justice League.
Well, when you're a kid, you have Santa Claus. You've got to be good because Santa Claus is watching you.
Okay.
For the religious freaks, you've got to be good because God and Jesus are watching. For the atheists, you've got to be good because superheroes are watching you.
I don't buy that.
I
don't buy that
got
last
you because
analysis.
Mitch is watching me. You better know.
No,
I
as
think
they say in
I
Senate.
think with most sincere atheists, it's because we're watching each other.
Fair enough.
And I say sincere ones because I think the sincere atheist is not trying to convince you out of your religious faith.
Oh yeah, to where basically they either always have been or hit that third stage. Like I always say, there's like 3 phases most atheists go through. There's the first one to where they're still questioning everything and whatnot, like not out loud, but they're being kind of quiet because they're, like a lot of things, afraid of what they're gonna get. That one's not seen near as much anymore unless you live in not the or Western country,
Right.
if we're gonna be honest. And the second one's the like being the asshole, not so much of like what I wouldn't put logic necessarily there, but kind of like the YouTube atheists. So being like fucking TJ.
The skeptic crowd.
Yeah.
No, see, I don't think the skeptic crowd are the same.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying they're the ones who are more likely to go into all of the questions and like right then and there start having an argument with someone about religion because they brought up their faith.
Well, yeah, I mean, the kind of atheist you're talking about is
An asshole.
exactly the same as the religious person who can't have a 40-second conversation without bringing up Jesus 62 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The assholes.
Yeah,
They're exactly the same. Yeah.
And
I mean, if you're bringing up
hold
Jesus
on.
62 times, how's he ever going to pick the lawn?
I was gonna say, like, and the third one is the one that they have that, and typically the only people they're even gonna rib on about religion is gonna be their religious friends, and that's gonna be in like a private setting to where they're just joking and having fun.
Right.
Because they're gonna be like, you know, oh, this and that. All right, I gotta head out, man. I'll see you on Friday for the barbecue.
We I always called the group two, and the ones that get louder about it, the fire and brimstone atheists. Because
Yeah, basically.
Well,
So-
why do you think it is? I won't join any of the atheist fucking clubs
So at my
because they're
job,
full of those assholes.
ages ago at my job, right, there was this guy. He was a born again Christian, and he made it his personal mission to try to show me the light. And I kept telling him like, look, I'm not into that. But I had another friend who wasn't. She was a Christian. She said about her faith, but she wasn't pushy about it. She said, you don't believe? Okay, well, that's all well and good. You know, you're still a good
plus-
person. You're not a dick. So why try
Plus,
to
you know,
force this on
people
you?
come to faith in their own time and in their own way.
Yeah, that's what you were trying. If you do come forward, come forward. If you don't. You know, God is all loving, and even if you didn't believe in your life, you still lived a good moral life, and I don't see
Well,
why
that
he
was,
wouldn't
like, the
accept
one
you.
that we had on Twitter with that, like him doing the whole thing of like guys predominantly getting screwed because it was one of those memes to where someone quote tweeted to where it's like their women are saying they want abortions so that way they can have basically responsive sex, like responsibilities of sex, like men already do. And you know, Dax, that whole thing, like, no, you know, if a woman has a child, men 9 times out of 10 get screwed over. And of course, some dude had to come up and be like, or they could not have sex until marriage, like God intended this and that. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, or, you know, they could just, both sides could use protection to lower the risk of having a pregnancy instead of just going by your religion.
Yeah.
Look,
Like, you got to remember, like, yes, I understand you're a Christian and whatnot, because like 90% of the time that's who you're gonna deal with. Because like I've also seen the ones to where someone will be like, you know, like they'll bring up the whole thing of God and like, which one? Like, you know which one? The one who marked your heart in the sense like, oh, for fuck's sake, I am so sick of this shit. Like, do we want to get into the whole thing of free will's an illusion?
So, Collymon?
but
The preacher from Temple of Doom.
wait. I got some
Why
good
do
chats.
you- why-
Hold on. Wait a minute. Jeffrey was also with Teen Titans Brother alongside Good Times. Jeffrey Unlimited with some very good episodes and some really bad ones. And what goes, Mitch can't get the atheist group since atheists got good songs. You know, again, Will, you can bring your ass in here and talk.
no offense.
Speaking, getting back to that atheist thing, God damn it, the groups. Why do they want to have the same structure as a religion?
Yeah.
A lot of them.
And here's the thing is, the vast majority of the ones that want to get together, they're not the ones I want to be around.
Exactly.
They want to have a council. They want to have a hierarchy. They want to do.
They
No,
want to
that's-
express their worldview.
They
Yeah.
want the community without
And that's
everything else that goes
exactly
with it.
where religion went wrong. Was
Well-
when it became an organization. Because when you have an organization, you have a hierarchy. And when you have a
profit
hierarchy,
margin.
that means some people are better than others. And when some people start to be better than others, then you get corruption.
Some pigs are more equal.
Yes. Exactly. Did people just not, these so-called atheists, did they not take the right lessons from anything that they claim to have read?
Nope.
It's just
Can we all agree in this religion debate and all that? We just stop and agree that all vegans are assholes.
Yes. You know what? I will agree to that one wholeheartedly. All vegans are assholes. All vegetarians are dicks.
okay.
Every animal
actually
you
can't
don't eat,
because-
I'm gonna eat too.
Now, there are two kinds of people. There are two kinds, okay, not two kinds of people in the world, but there are two varieties here of what we're talking about. The vegans and the vegetarians. The vegetarians, and don't give me this shit about chicken isn't meat. Yes, it
Chicken
is.
is
Fish is
very
also
delicious
meat,
meat.
okay? That's the first thing. Fish and chicken are meat. It's not meat and then fuck you. It's meat. It's high protein, muscle tissue, meat,
It's the
okay?
flesh of an animal.
Yes.
If it walks, it's meat.
Even if it swims.
No, because
If it's high protein muscle tissue, it's meat. It's that simple. Now, the vegetarians at least are not political. At least not the way vegans are.
Oh yeah,
A
vegans
vegetarian-
are fucking annoying.
Vegans want to force their shit on you.
See,
Vegetarians will be like, hey, I'm having a salad. You in?
I mean, I
Yeah.
can have a salad. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
That's
gonna
why I
say, I
said
can't
vegans
say
are
all
not
vegans
vegetarians.
Some
because
shrimp and some bacon on it, and I'm good to go.
I can't say all vegans because I have met some ones that are an asshole. But
You
they
know-
are very, very fucking rare.
I've
And most
met-
of them are only that way because they have to for dietary reasons.
I've
That's a
met,
vegetarian.
I've met one vegan that wasn't an asshole, and surprisingly, she was also a professor, which how
That's
had
a-
you not be an asshole on that too?
Wait a minute,
Here,
is
let
that
me
your
ask you
ex-wife?
this.
Are we talking about your ex-wife again?
No, this is my ex-wife's best friend.
Okay.
Okay, let's here's how I judge it. All right, and maybe this will work for you too. You have to ask yourself now when you have that vegan / vegetarian over for dinner, you're going to go out of way to make them something that they will eat, correct?
Maybe.
I mean, you're not going to make them a rack of ribs if you know they're a vegetarian. You're going to be like, okay, I got this mushroom risotto, something, or
But
this vegetable lasagna. You got something for them, right? You're going to go out of your way. Are they going to build a rack of ribs when they invite you for dinner?
No.
You know, surprisingly, she did.
There you go. That's not an asshole.
She was kind enough to do that for you because you did it for her.
Right. That's someone who's
Consider
who's willing to treat you the same way that she did. I'm not saying she demanded to be treated this way, but a lot of them do. They you serve them like, oh, I can't eat meat. No, here we go.
No, like, technically my brother's wife is more vegetarian, but damn near vegan. But that's also because she works as a veterinarian's assistant.
Okay.
So
can
getting
kinda
past
see that.
part of that, but she doesn't hold anything against anyone for eating meat and whatnot.
See, I can kind of see that because of the what you're exposed to day in and day out.
Yeah.
That I get.
I mean, I can respect. I can respect.
But
that
for some of them
position.
as well, like I've had a couple, like I want to say at least one of them to where pretty much to make it easier, it was kind of brought up that them being vegan. That it's like, hey, unless we bring something ourselves over to the other's place of residence, let's just go out to eat because then neither one of us has to sacrifice our morals or anything, and we don't
That's
have
fair.
to worry about that. And I think
Cool.
that's
We'll
fair.
go to Pizza Roadhouse.
Typically, with most of mine, as long as it was someplace that still had a vegan option, they were cool.
Yeah.
I mean, a simple salad. That's a vegan option.
Yeah, but a simple salad gets boring after what, 2 seconds?
Well, trying to have pizza with this woman was it was a
Impossible.
it was a frustrating thing because she ordered like pizza for an entire Robin and hers roller derby team, and basically she just ate the sauce and the bread. And I'm like,
What was the fucking point of the pizza?
well, you could have just got yourself some of those garlic sticks, you know, that would have been.
Yeah.
Well, like my favorite is typically the ones that bring up because of how there is a lot of there are some issues with the butchering industry or the meat industry that yes, I can agree need to be changed, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go vegan because of it.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
And then so and it's like that. It's like, okay, so if that's the case, then you should be very, very for people having their own animals that they would slaughter themselves, or people going out and hunting because they're not going to be able to hunt, a white-tailed deer. It's like all year long.
well, I've always said that vegans are more like a cult.
They seem like it. Yeah, it seems more. It has more. There's more of a religious fervor involved.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost like Jesus of Latter-day Saints. They
have
want to tell you the
convert
good
an
work of Smith.
Yeah, it's got
And,
the same air of moral supremacy that that the woke do, and that a lot of the twisted religious people do.
They had to convert
Yeah.
the meat eater.
Exactly. I mean, I just have a hard time with it. Now, I'm sure that's why I always try to make fun of vegans and not vegetarians, because there is a difference.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just a whole different ball of wax. I mean, it just is.
Well, absolutely it is. And it's all about attitude.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this. There's just like Christians have stages, when they first get baptized and whatever, and become find a religious, they get that zealotry. It's like, hey, and then halfway through, it's like they calm down a little bit after they learn a little bit more and all that. It's like, hey, if you want to hear, we'll listen. And then later on in life, it's like, hey, we do our thing, you can do yours, but this is how we believe.
Yeah.
It's
Basically,
like I said, it's like a cult. Again, you have to convert the non-believer. You have to convert, the apostate.
You gotta pee in this cup. You gotta worship the head of lettuce.
Yes. It's sort of like the LGBTQ thing. You have to believe their dogma.
Yes.
Since Angela's not here, I can go ahead and say it. And, if you're dating a non-Jew, then you're expected to convert to Judaism. So you can even throw that in there too.
Well, yeah.
Because if you're dating a vegan, you're expected to become a vegan.
So never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's what I brought up about that there's some force in the world. I don't know what it is, but it's a force that insists that you have an opinion on Jewish people. And I'm sorry, I just don't care. Let them be Jewish. It's not hurting me.
No, it's not.
Be Mennonite. It's not hurting me. Be Hasidic. It's not hurting me. But every time something happens in Israel,
Mitch, I just gotta go this one for a second because I gotta get this off my chest.
Go for it.
Serious, that whole thing. But it's like quite literally like just let them be Jewish. Like Let them be Jewish.
Yes. I honestly don't understand this whole thing. I don't understand. Like I said, I don't know the source of this. But anytime something happens in Israel, there's this whole slew of people in the world that insist you have an opinion on it. And it's the Middle East. I don't give a fuck.
I say this and I keep saying this. I'm a huge Icelanders. I don't give two shits what happens in the
Unless they're an actual ally, which I'm still not really convinced why Israel is an ally, since they have sunk our ships. Yes, they broke the cardinal sin of fucking with our boats.
Yeah.
And faced no repercussions.
And honest, I just don't care. I'm not going to delve into something just because somebody insists upon themselves. And again, I'm not saying it's the Jews insisting upon themselves, but somebody is insisting.
All right. So again, using this chick Hope, and she is pro-blacky black.
Because she's black, y'all.
She's black, y'all.
She's blacky black.
She's black, y'all.
But she was talk about the problem with Palestinians, the same problem black people have. And mind you, I'm thinking the entire time, you're a lesbian. They'd fucking kill you.
Yeah.
If they got the fucking chance.
Mm.
I didn't say
You being
that.
born into that white school.
Yeah, you almost have to ask, what CIA crack are you smoking?
Yeah, like, just because you have to remember their religious dogma tells them you're wrong and you should be popping out babies.
There's a lot of problems with the other side of the Israel Hamas debate.
Yes.
One of the things is that Robin brought it up to me the last time I seen her, and it was just like, they really just need to give that land back to the people that used to own it. And I'm like, you know what?
British?
I agree. I agree with you. I think we should give it back to the British.
No. I think we should give it back to the Ottomans. Ottomans should have their land back. I agree. We still the Ottoman Empire.
Well, these are also the same people who it's like, gonna just go the whole, or to have that whole belief of like the natives are all just the noble savage.
Yeah.
And
which
quite
is
literally,
nonsense.
that's the whole thing. Because like it's
we'll
stolen
correct
land.
it.
It's like, don't be wrong. There are treaties we did outright go back on, and that was fucked up.
Yes.
But it's our land now. Like, again, if they wanted their land, they should have been better at war. And
Actually, they were better at war in a lot of cases.
Yes, they were.
but we had guns.
That's
No,
not
even with us having guns, they were still better at war. It's because
We
at that
outnumbered them.
time frame, well, one, we outnumbered them, and then we also had the germs they weren't quite used to yet.
Yes.
Again, they should have been better at war. We fought with biological agents and we were technologically superior.
No, we didn't fight with biological agents.
No, we
because the
didn't
whole
know we were
blankets-
using biological agents.
Yeah, we weren't.
Yeah, we
knowing
did. We
doing
gave them
that.
smallpox blankets. We fought with
That
biological
one-
agents.
Actually, for most of those ones, if you actually look into it, most of what would be put into those blankets wouldn't be viable to pass along smallpox.
Gun steel and germs. Ever read that book? Fascinating.
Oh, yes, of course I had to read it. His not geography major here. And yeah, there's some controversy about that book in those circles.
It is?
Yeah, it is the most, okay. There is this weird concept called geographic determination.
Okay.
And it is controversial. And it's basically saying geographic determination basically says that civilization thrived in places that the geography favored civilization to go. So places that had good agricultural land, had good water sources for
Settlements and whatnot.
for irrigation. They were able to develop agriculture, and they were able to develop civilization. That is why you see areas that are you've had people there for quite some time, but they're arid lands. They're not good. There's no irrigation. There's no way to irrigate them. There's no way to grow anything on them. That's why those areas did not develop a civilization.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
and here's the thing is that the reason why it's controversial is people say it's racist.
Yeah.
Look, I'll put it to you like this. Not everything is fucking racist.
And I
Yeah. I'm not. But I don't know.
But
and
what?
I don't know how to explain why they consider it racist, because to me it actually negates the whole race argument, because it's basically saying people didn't grow a civilization there because they didn't have the resources to make a civilization.
Right.
I don't believe that. The mother invention is necessity. You develop shit because you need it. You know, if trees just shit out fucking fruit at command, we wouldn't develop agriculture. We got what we needed. We don't need to progress.
I mean, hell, if you look at it, there's a lot of animals we cultivate that in the wild wouldn't be the way they are.
Shit, dogs. We bred dogs to be better allies than other people.
Dude,
Well,
we bred cows to be the way they are.
My favorite on the domestication is the sheep.
Yep.
Because have you ever seen a sheep that gets out away from the flock and it's like run away for months and they finally find it? The thing is barely alive because it is just so full of wool that can't move.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking the one that don't get shorn and it's
Yeah.
impossible for them to move and they can't just start growing over their face and eyes.
They have to.
Oh, yeah, see, I always wonder about that, because you see that with dogs too when their fur gets matted. And I always wonder, you know, isn't there some function in nature that solves that problem?
Yeah, but we kind of bred it out of we
Well, yeah, I
bred
know.
that out.
Well,
Of.
it's
I don't mean in their biology. I mean like dragging themselves across the ground under a bush or something, you know?
Oh,
Isn't there some natural structure that serves the purpose of getting the gnats out of a dog's coat, getting
Yeah.
the wool off a sheep?
But we bred it out of it. We literally have bred that trait out because we take care of cows. Don't
cannot-
milk themselves, but they
You
overproduce
can
milk.
breeding a trait out of an animal does not change the natural world.
Yes, that's why I was trying to say it's like some of the animals that are in the wild, they still get it. They just basically deal with it.
Well,
Yeah.
here's
What
the
I'm
other
they
saying
die.
is like let's take a different example other than fur. Then a dog's nails, because you know when they go into the groomers, they get their nails clipped,
Okay.
right? In nature, there's a solution. When dogs probably run over rocks or something, it scrapes away at.
Yeah.
And you know, nature finds a way. To quote Ian Malcolm.
the biggest problem with the like on the sheep, the reason you would have them rub up against stuff and things like that to kind of take it up. But we've also not only we've bred them to grow their
Thicker.
coats out so thick,
Yes.
we've also taken them out of the areas where they can, use the natural environment to groom themselves.
Right.
And put them in
Yeah,
areas
there's a
where-
geographic interference that took place as well. I'm not denying that.
So
I'm just saying that if we return them to nature, nature will find the solutions.
and here's the the other people, like but they would but I still haven't figured out the geographic determination argument why it's risky. And it's driving me nuts because they just
they
look
don't
at
have an argument.
Well, the thing is, it really doesn't. The person in the person, the people in the argument, the people are dependent on because basically, if you go by geographic determination, if we were to swap everybody from Africa, put them in the Middle East, and everybody in the Middle East, and put them in Africa at the time of the first revolution, it would break out the same way. The person doesn't matter. It is the conditions that they're in.
Yes.
Well, that's like the people that want to go through and they'd be like, oh, white people are here on stolen land of the natives, not realizing that this, X tribe stole it from X tribe, which stole it from X tribe, which stole it from X tribe by wiping out X tribe, that finally first were the ones to walk over here across the land bridge.
Oh, no, hold on, Rod. You're telling me that the natives had war? That's an invention of the white man. The white man invented war.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know the only reason why frickin' Hitler did what he did was because he started playing video games.
Yup, he did.
Oh, yeah.
He played too much Civilization.
Played too much Call of Duty.
Yup,
But they bring up the native lands argument here, but the vast majority of native tribes to Oklahoma aren't native. They're not native to Oklahoma. They were put here.
Shit. Do you remember when Ben and Jerry's did that whole this is
stolen land thing and didn't want to fucking give up their own facilities?
Yeah.
Because they're a bunch of hypocritical shitbags.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, quite literally, for most of them, it's that whole, in my personal opinion, it's that whole, they just have a fucking savior complex.
Mitch, hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
We were just shooting down escape shuttles, right?
Still am, sort of.
Are we the baddies in this situation?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
What are you, in the fucking mirror universe again?
No.
No. Like, we were just literally shooting down escape shuttles. Like, the game literally had us shooting down escape shuttles. And I had to ask, like, are we the bad guys here?
Sorry, I'm having a good... Oh, yeah. Oh,
I don't like this mission,
great.
Mitch. I don't
Yeah.
like
Big
this
stretch.
Oh, I don't like it either. I've been fed up with that mission for a long time.
Hey, can I have a story I want to vent about. Just for a
Go
minute.
right ahead.
I have to tell somebody this because it's been driving. I haven't been able to talk to anybody because I've been isolated in my house because I'm sick on a 3-day weekend. It's pissing me off. But on Saturday, this was when I felt at 7 a.m. the landlord had people come over to repair the eaves on my garage.
Okay.
And they also had to cut down a tree because the tree was starting to the foundation.
Okay.
Okay.
At 7 o'clock on a Saturday, which, fine, whatever. But I felt like shit. I mean, hammered up. I mean, every noise was getting to me. I couldn't swallow, couldn't breathe, couldn't think.
Had to
About noon, I had to go outside, so I needed to check the mail. And the mail is behind the house in the alley. And I have to go through the garage and everything. So I'm walking back. And I'm like croaking my voice. I have the Kennedy voice going on right there. And I said hi to him, and one of the guys. So I walked by there to get the mail. And I'm walking back. One of the other workmen appears, and he looks at me. He's like, because he sees me, I'm like grabbing my throat. I can't breathe. He's like, "Are you sick?" Yes. Oh, you got to stay away from me. my kids have they have some disease, and I can't be around them and they're sick. And I'm like a few feet away from them at this point. I'm like, okay. So I start walking back towards my garage, and he's like, "No, man, you can't get around me. You can't get near me." And then I lost my temper, and this is like the first time I've ever like yelled at somebody who was working on my house. It was like, "Well, then get the fuck out of my garage so I can walk back inside, you dumbass."
Yeah.
Quiet.
Like, come on now.
Awfully quiet.
You should have told him you sound like you're triple boosted.
You sound like you're vaccinated.
Like,
Sound like I'm what?
Oh, hey, Batman.
Hey, Bats.
Hello. Like I said, I'm being awfully quiet back here.
Well, we didn't hear you
Like,
there.
you know what we're doing.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah,
I
if
like-
someone's gonna,
I didn't like and tweet out your stream.
The invasion of Kronos has
I said I didn't like and tweet out your stream.
oh, all right.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to hop on bets, always.
well, I'm deep rip off 9 at the moment.
Deep rip off 9.
Yeah.
See, I take issue with people who who try to use whatever their circumstances to manipulate you.
Yes.
It annoys me. I'm sure I do it too, honestly.
We all do it.
Because who among us is perfect? But I
Shut up.
I try to be conscious of such things and not do
I
that.
was trying to think of who amongst us is perfect, and I came up empty.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
me
I say,
too.
if you said G, I was going to be like, nope. Mm-mm.
Oh, fuck no.
But this guy, this really got to me because I'm like out there having like this weird Mexican standoff while trying to get back into my own fucking house, and the guy's like, "No, you got to stay away from him." Like, yeah, get the fuck out of my garage so I can get back in my house, get back to work. And then I come back out an hour later, and they're still out there, and then I lost my temper again with them because I noticed that they were sitting their drinks and stuff on the trunk of my car. And I'm like,
Oh hell no! I'm fucking losing on someone.
That's
If I didn't invite them in my garage, they need to get the fuck out of my house. Because that, like, they're there, like they were given permission to do whatever it was they had to do outside of the house, not in it.
so at that point, I didn't confront them because it didn't feel like it. So I just shut the garage door. So
And if
they
someone
can't get
tries
back
using
in.
my vehicle as their fucking thing, their coaster's like, I'd be the one to walk out there and be like, hey, get your shit off my vehicle. Well, you need to stay away, yes, and you need to respect other people's properties. You're here to do a fucking job, not use my equipment or not use my property as your fucking equipment.
All right, so I tell this story, and this is a true story. This really happened, and it's not for the faint of heart. It was one day I was leaving. I'm home my day off, and I just got out of the shower, and I plan to leave to go do something. One of my neighbors called me, goes, "Hey, there's one of the crackheads that frequent the area is on your steps." He just nodded no. You want me to get him up? No, I got this. So, me in my full glory, I swing open my door, get the fuck off my steps. And he goes, "Sorry, man, I didn't." "Oh, man, come on, get dressed, man. Come on, you can't be showing that. Get the fuck off my steps."
I'm an angry naked man. You want to turn this into something?
I mean, that
never
happens.
had that
He's
problem
gonna.
again.
I mean, if that happens with me and I'm gonna be naked when I do that, they're gonna find it really weird of how I'm still wearing a belt and a fucking a drop holster. They're like, dude, you're naked without. You put the gun on and didn't put clothes on. Gun's more important.
I see that in the Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah, honestly, this is something I've always wanted to do. Because, I mean, as a joke, not to actually freak anyone out, but wait till the Jehovah's Witnesses come by, especially if it's a couple of ladies,
Ah, the orgy's here.
Well, no, I don't go. I let them ponder. Remember the bumper sticker discussion we had earlier? Glazed
Yes.
cheese. You know. But it's that kind of a thing. But what I want to do is like, oh, good, you're early. Come in. And have them sit down on the sofa and let me get you a cup of tea or whatever. Like, all right, hold on, I'll be right back, and then go into the other room, and then come out naked except for cowboy boots, 2 6-shooters in a holster, and a cowboy hat, and ask, do I pay now or later?
One of the things that is getting to me is as soon as I've hit 41, and I've had like I've had 3 instances of yelling at people at my house, and I'm like, wow, I'm turning into my dad.
Yeah.
Mitch, earlier, there were a bunch of motorcycles running up and down I'm like, I just want to go out there and yell, and then I realized, when did I fucking become an old man telling kids get off my fucking lawn?
Oh,
It's true.
well, the first, sorry.
Oh, go on.
The first instance was also the reason why I'm no longer able to use DoorDash.
Okay.
Well,
Yay.
he,
Thank you, dear. I love you.
Oh, that's you. I didn't know that.
he,
You just automatically accepted it.
Well, shit. I don't
Well,
turn down friend
you-
requests. It
you
ain't like
must
they're
have
gonna
a-
do anything.
Only life. I've turned on friend requests all the time.
but this guy, he threw, and I hardly ever use DoorDash. And I don't use it anymore because, well, I'm not allowed to use it anymore. They kicked me off.
Okay.
Because I had an extremely bad day at work, and I'm like, I need groceries. I can't go out. I don't want to go out and shop. I'm just gonna order them from fucking press and have them brought to me. I don't care at this point about the cost. Just have them here. I just want to eat and go to sleep and forget this shit thing. And then the guy gets here, and I see him on the tracker. He's like running around my house like 3 times. He's running around the block. I don't have a hard house to. I think I've been over this before. I don't have a hard house to find. He throws the groceries towards my door. I see him do it. He's like, instead of like placing them down, he just kind of does that like weird like swing and release, and everything just kind of hits the ground. And I see it.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
What
And
you had eggs in there?
A herald dread
I-
has entered the system.
I lost my temper, and I went outside and started shouting at him as he went to his car, and he reported me as like threatening to assault him, and I'm like, no. I
think
just
ought to
called
be
you a
right
bunch.
to-
I just called you a whole bunch of words that I probably can't say on here, but
That's why you
Yeah.
always record such interactions.
Yeah.
Yes.
You ought to be right to be angry and yell at him.
and then the last one was I had a door-to-door pest control sales guy show up, and he was like just trying to I go outside. My first response was, I'm going to be nice, but he wouldn't shut up long enough for me to be nice. And then I had to point out to him to ring, and because he comes up there and he like rings my doorbell like repeatedly, and he bangs on it and then rings it. So the reason why I open it is like, oh my god, somebody really needs to get a hold of me. No, it's this little fucking twerp wanting to sell pest control service.
Our troops have landed.
It's like, do you have a problem with roaches? Like, no, I don't have a problem with roaches. I have a problem with fucking people that can't read no listing sign that's placed right above the fucking doorbell.
Exactly.
I love when people bang on my door.
Oh, I'm the person that if he'd have asked me if I have a problem with roaches, I'd have been like, yeah, the one standing at my fucking door.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head now.
I'm pretty sure we were all thinking that.
Yep.
Yeah, you want to get out of his head. It's dark in there. It smells like cheese.
The only difference is with me compared to everyone else is most of the others are just gonna like walk out there either naked or whatnot, and like I'm gonna try to look as like stereotypically hillbilly as possible.
We're in Earth 10.
And go ahead and fucking have a gun on my side.
Oh yeah.
I've got a baseball bat, and if I see somebody that kind of description at my door, I answer it with the baseball bat. The baseball bat is studded with nails.
Oi!
I figured you'd have
got a license for that baseball bat?
I was about to bring up.
You want me to show you the license I've got for the baseball bat? I'll show you it 7 times until you fall down dead. Oh yes, I'm wearing my what is it? My phase 2 uniform.
Yes.
I'm just making sure you have a license for that baseball bat. Just making sure.
And now here is my Mirror Universe phase 2.
Where? Oh, not bad. You have the eye patch on. You look scary.
I've got a scar as well.
Invite the team.
That's like the joke I like with this one guy put on a video that's on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and his friend is like, he's like, Bob, why do you have a machete at the door? And he's like, oh, it's for self-defense. And the guy's like, how is it for self-defense? The criminal's gonna get it first, if they break in. And he goes, oh no, he goes, that's for me to claim self-defense to the police. And as you see him grabbing a sword off a rack of swords.
Like, my grandma once criticized me, and she's like, you really using a gun for home defense? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, are you willing to? It's like, Grandma, you forgot. I've had a home invasion robbery. I am quite willing to do it now.
There comes a point where you're inviting it. I'm not saying that the threat of them getting shot is what's invited. I'm saying that you get to a point where you're so fed up with how shit's going on, you're just basically daring a motherfucker to do something stupid.
Yeah. Come and have a go. Beat you hard enough.
Because I had somebody actually break down my door and rob.
Welcome to the Federation.
And try to rob me. I'm sorry.
Not you. Same here. I'm going with the original series look.
He pulls a knife on me, and I don't have a gun at this point. And all I have is like I was in bed reading. Confronting this guy in my living room with a knife, and all I have is the book in my hand, and I'm like, well,
hardcover.
Yes.
We just lost Mitch.
He'll be back. He'll always come back.
Oh yeah.
Ah, he's back.
It's like a bad smell. Yeah, he's in his. Yeah, I'll go Mirror Universe. Wrath of Khan.
Still, the two favorite stories I have for
Romulans are attacking from the south.
Like front door solicitors and whatnot was one when I was really younger, and apparently I didn't know anybody, but it's like, I answered the door and everything and didn't know anything about it. So, and like apparently they were sitting there being like, I'm gonna go to hell and shit like that. So they got cussed up with my mom. The absolute best one though was my parents' first Chesapeake Bay Retriever, Harley.
Okay.
Again, I grew up in a more rural area, and this freaking religious person, showed up, and one of the sliders wasn't locked, and he had knocked, and it saw that it was open, so he slid open and just stepped in to say hello, because he wasn't trying to like break in or anything. But Harley was like, you're not supposed to be here. And this dude was like 6'2", 6'3", but Harley was also like 140 pounds of muscle. And he had
all heart.
And he was mean, because if you weren't supposed to be there, and you were gonna know that. So by the time my mom got upstairs from doing whatever it was with the laundry, This dude's halfway down the driveway, screaming like a 5-year-old girl running away from Harley.
Romulans are attacking from the south.
But it was the whole thing. It's, you're in my house. You're not supposed to be in my house. I don't know you. You haven't been okayed.
I always there's always people that at work they will call me and tell me, it's like, look, I'm not home yet. Just go in the back door.
No.
Yeah, no.
I will wait in my goddamn car.
It's like I've had, and I've only done like one of those where the guy's like, it's like, man, I need this fixed today. I have to go. I'll be right back. Just go in and get it taken care of. I'm like, okay, fine. And here's the weird thing is, it's always extremely expensive, nice houses.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't. I'm not doing that, because the moment you say, "Oh, I lost this and now my job's online," no. Bring your ass in.
I always my work phone. I take my work phone. I turn it around. And I put it in my shirt pocket, and I put it on video. So I'm videoing myself the entire time I'm in there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because you're saving you and the company.
And there has been sometimes I've wanted to have a body cam. Not at the current job, but when I did rent to own, I really did.
Oh yeah.
I hate it when it does that. I thought I'd broken something.
Your face.
A Romulans have
Dealing with rent to own customers was just fucking awful.
Really?
Every fucking one of them. Like, man, I can't warranty your refrigerator. Well, why not? Because the cockroaches ate it. I've been in some of those houses that I walk into and look around like, I'm not putting my bag down. I will see you later.
I live between two abandoned houses. I know the feeling. It is great for, I can play my shit as loud as I love, but every so many 100 years I have to deal with the pests. And it's just me.
Oh yeah.
Like those fucking ants.
And the uncles. The uncles are the worst.
The uncles are the worst. But the ants are worse. Every summer I'm at war with the ants.
The ants are worse because of hive intelligence, and an ant colony is smart.
Again, I'm at every summer. At the beginning of the year, or beginning of the summer, I go to war with the ants.
Figure out how to get the extract the proper stuff from a cucumber, and load it into a spray bottle, and spray that around the perimeter of your house.
Apparently, ants do learn how to overcome ant traps as well.
Oh, sure they do.
Have y'all ever had to deal with fire ants?
Yep.
Nope, and I don't wanna.
Nope,
I'll tell you this.
I live in a country with sensible insects.
You don't want to rely too much on chemicals to kill these things, because insects are fucking chemical warfare specialists.
Highly adaptive.
Chemicals as deterrents, yes. As killers, no.
Right.
Because one thing you can do with ants, there are stuff on the market, non-lethal chemicals that get rid of ants, because it works on how they communicate.
Right. Also, there's one of my favorites is still the use some dish soap in a water spray bottle, because the dish soap breaks the surface tension of the water.
Yeah.
If the water can work its way into their airways so that they drown.
Yeah, it's also they can't use the surface tension to walk on the water.
Right.
And borax is what I use most of the time.
Right, my dad told me when he was in the army in Malaya. He doing the when he's fixing telegraph lines. The ants used to use it to cross from one area to the other.
Oh yeah,
across water. They're smart,
absolutely.
but not individually.
No.
Individually, they're mine.
Batman, you said you have sensible bugs. Do your cockroaches have little monocles?
No,
Yes.
but they're smaller and less defensive than yours.
They've also got UVs.
They also hold out their pinky when they're drinking.
Well, plus the cockroaches in the United States have a right to keep and bear arms.
Ah, makes sense. Makes sense.
And some of them are German cockroaches, which
Yeah, but let's face it, there are American cockroaches that want to remove that right.
yes.
They are American
But there are.
Yeah.
I wonder, does those cockroaches also have a prime minister and a seat in parliament?
Yep.
We're near. Yeah.
I mean, granted, I am thinking about when I do have a house, like, after the first couple of years and whatnot, getting some chickens because they will decimate most of the insect population.
Yes.
There's a neighborhood up here who has they bought themselves a flock of peacocks.
Flock
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah, peacocks
Peacocks.
will decimate parts
I was going
of
to
the,
say, how do you
I
get
think
a flock
the
of
insect,
people?
but they will fuck up the rodent population.
Now this is one of those. It's a neighborhood country club. They have a golf course in the middle of their neighborhood.
Oh, fuck that.
I've got a rule with when it comes to like insects in the house. If I find spiders, I leave them alone.
Yeah, I leave the spiders alone.
I'll leave most of them.
This neighborhood had probably the lowest price of the house probably in there's $1 million. They're not only a gated community, they are gated with armed security at the gates to check ID of everybody that goes.
Are we still about spiders here?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be.
These are the noble spiders, royalty. Their webs are made by, lesser spiders.
And they live in a gated community.
Look, he's telling a story. We'll get there when we get there.
Sorry, I'm being a cunt.
Well, I was
you mean yourself, got you.
Yeah.
I was telling about the peacock neighborhood because they bought peacocks to control the rodent and gopher population that was trying to get, because like I said, the golf course, Oak Tree National, was like right in the middle of it. And you got guys, their house would have they have the main garage, and they have their little garage where they keep their golf cart that they drive to the golf course. But they have the peacocks. It blew my mind the first time I seen one because he flew down in front of my van when I was pulled up there. Just kind of did the whole peacock feather thing. It's like, are you trying to fuck my van? And why the fuck are you here?
Peacock. I'm not really familiar with peacocks, so I don't know what you mean by the peacock feather thing.
They have that big ass fucking.
Oh,
tail
the flaring of the feather. Yeah,
that's where we have the term of peacocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's out there and he's feathered himself out and he's making himself look so big in front of me, and I'm like, are you trying to fight my van or fuck it? I mean, it's a Ford Transit.
Wait. I don't think we're doing that for the van. I think we're doing it to you.
No, that's usually what they do to attract a mate.
Yeah, and because they can't see behind them, it's also the reason of why there are certain felines that will get them because of that.
Yeah.
Again, they were trying to tell you he wants a piece of you, Travis.
And I'm like, so like I'm like trying to drive around it, and he's like still trying to get in front of me, and I'm like, what do I do? So I'll honk at it, and he like just gets even more aggressively. So like, I'm not dealing with this today, so I back up, and I take a good run at him. He finally flies off or does whatever. And I get to the house, and like, there's peacocks. He's like, yeah, they like spend $2,000 a piece on these.
Which is funny because peacocks aren't any sort of endangered species or anything, and they're actually a pretty common bird.
Yeah, there's no shortage.
Yeah.
Fucking peacocks.
But for supposedly it's some kind of like pest control thing, and I'm like, which it's probably doing a great job, but
You
It
ever
just
enjoy?
throws you off. That's why, like, it's funny of like rural areas, and whatnot, because like the homesteading. One of the guys before I don't know if he got fired or he quit or whatnot, but when he was like, "Yeah, man, I want to move out into the woods because I've already got the property, and once everything else is paid off, he's like, it's just gonna be me and my dog." I'm like, in the woods, and if he's like, "Yeah," I'm like, "You want to have chickens?" He's like, "Why would I want to have chickens?" I'm like, "Because the chickens will decimate the tick population, so your doggo doesn't get ticks."
That's right.
And he's
And
like,
don't
"Wait, and he's like, wait, seriously?" And I'm like, "Yeah, ask so and so who homesteads." And he's like, "Oh, dude, they will decimate the insect population." He's like, "It's gonna be me, my dog, and chickens."
Chickens, as far as the eye can see.
Well, you don't want to go too many, but yeah, like
chickens are fun to watch. So
I still like the best thing of how, with chickens, it's the whole thing of how like not understanding why chicken is an insult, because like chickens are too dumb to back away from shit.
Yeah.
You haven't met a pheasant yet, then.
Oh, there's a lot of birds that are too dumb to back away from shit.
I'm still listening, guys, but I'm gonna check the toaster.
You're like swans.
My dad was with a shooting combine, right? And they'd raise pheasants in the woods.
They allow you to have your dad to have guns?
Yes. Let me tell the story. They raise pheasants to shoot, and so these pheasants that wander around the woods, you know, being wild animals.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out one day, and I was with him. He basically looking for a fox because there was a fox around, and as this pheasant comes out of the brush, walks up, and it's curious about my dad's shotgun, and it tries to stick its head up the barrel to see what's in there.
Yeah.
They're that stupid.
Yeah.
They actually think if they're hiding in a bush, right, they can stick their head out and look around and nobody will know they're there.
Because they're hiding.
Because they're morons.
I don't know. You ever get the urge just to go full misanthrope? And you know, like when a school bus gets run off the road and it's absolutely filled to the gills with students, and they all die in a fiery crash. And you get tired of hearing people talk about it, and inside you're just like, oh, come on, it's not like there's a shortage.
for me, that was just a Tuesday.
Oh, I mean, if it's the U.S., we are starting to see a bit more of like at least American children.
What, a shortage? Yeah.
Yes.
But you know what I'm getting at. There's no shortage of people. They're like flour tortillas. There's no chance of running out.
Yeah. I think,
like I say, you have to be in a particularly sour place in your brain to start thinking like that.
We should go to Space Dock 10.
What?
Or you just got to have what's known as the dark humor.
Oh yeah, there's a dark humor aspect to it, but you got to be in a pretty foul mood to like actually say that shit and be serious. Is what I'm getting at.
Is Mitch admitting to a crime? I think Mitch is admitting to a crime.
No, not at all. It's just,
Well, I mean,
it's just I've been in those kind of moods.
Well, hold on, he's got a point. You know, with us talking about like pheasants and chickens and everything, he's just trying to avoid being in a foul mood.
Yeah.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Don't you think that was the chicken's business?
He was doing chicken shit. I don't know.
Why did the libertarian chicken cross the road?
To avoid.
Am I being detained?
And really, was the bus run off the road or was the driver overcorrect?
Yes.
Who knows? You know, I always have questions.
I always like the one that's like, why the chicken cross the road? It's like, well, how else do you expect me to carry the bucket?
Why? Hey, why did the pervert cross the road?
To get to the busload of children before it burst into flames?
No, he was still stuck up the chicken.
Oh. I just assumed that the pervert was after the kids.
Why did the punk cross the road?
He was stapled to the chicken.
Yep.
Why did the tactical have to cross the road to attack the
Do you know how breakdancing started?
Oh, I've got one. Red Foreman's answered that one. Yeah. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get away from your dumbass questions!
Breakdancing started when a kid was trying to steal hubcaps off a moving car.
Really?
Why not?
No, breakdancing started with a bunch of drunk guys in an ice rink.
Oh God, I hate this mission.
Oh, not this fucker again.
Actually, the really funny part is breakdancing started because of capoeira being introduced in one of the more urban things, and they use that for dancing.
Hey, Mr. Scott.
Hello, Mr. Scott. We're playing your game.
That's not funny.
So in this one, Scotty does
Why
know.
am I smiling?
Oh, there was that for some reason Mitch reminded me there was
tiny, Mitch. That's
there was a school bus accident that happened
This
up
ship
here.
is tiny.
A school bus hit a cyclist.
Oh, yeah, maybe. My ship's
Oh
so
my
tiny,
gosh,
Ted, you want to go head to
have
head?
any of you guys seen the video on Twitter to where I don't know if it's out of a ring cam or the guy's watching his own, but fucking lightning strikes and downs a tree and a cyclist still fucking runs into it?
Really?
Like you can see it, dude. He's a good 20 feet away when the tree fucking falls and he doesn't even slow down. And it's just like, well, I mean, that's got to tell you something. Even God hates cyclists.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like,
I tell you
okay,
what, I'm an
it's
avid...
well, it's like cyclist watches tree fall into road, still tries to drive through it.
I am an avid bike rider. I love going on bike rides and whatnot. But my God, these cyclists are pretentious little cunt suckers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bike riders is one thing. Cyclists are to be avoided.
Yes.
The one with the suits and the
Even the ones with the suits aren't necessarily bad, but it's the ones who just they want to claim they're following, like everyone else is supposed to follow the rules of the road, but then they don't.
No, it's the ones that I don't care if they buy the shirt or the shorts, but when they buy the shoes and the fucking hat,
yeah,
they look gay.
Because
they look gay before just the shirt and the short.
They look extra gay.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I had a civilian boss while I was still in the military that he did that, but he would fucking shit on the weekends. He'd fucking bike for 100 miles or something.
Yeah.
And that whole thing. Actually, really cool dude in that, but it's like, you know, you see the one sort of the cyclist and you're like, well, this guy overtook me in this thing. It's like, wasn't supposed to overtake me. It's like, or the one that came around recently to where the person turned and quite literally all the cyclist had to do is to go a little, it's like turn around a little bit or slow down and whatnot. But instead he slows down enough and opens the back door of the vehicle. He's like, that'll teach him.
Alright, I know
like,
that's
dude,
wrong. It really is. Still.
Yeah.
It's like, so what would have happened if you'd have done that and the fucker would have backed up the vehicle?
Yeah.
It's like a lad I know, when he's riding with his mate, he used to come across a cyclist. He thought it was funny to get his mate to speed up so that catch up with the cyclist, right? and then he'd reach out the passenger window and grab a hold of the bike seat, so that and then it starts speeding up. So the pro cyclist's got no choice but to keep
Batman.
yeah.
Well, it's like in most of the places as well, like for here in Michigan, it's like they're allowed to be on the road and that whole thing. But I don't know how many times I'll see them. There'll be two in the lane when they're not supposed to be. When
They
cars
should
are
be on
coming.
the side of the road, closest to the pavement.
Yeah, they're supposed to go. Well, they're supposed to go closest to the pavement or closest to the side of the road and go single file, not just stay fucking two in the lane.
Yeah.
Stay two in the lane.
I will find
That's like fucking motorcyclists that'll be like, oh, look both ways for motorcyclists, and it's like, well, if motorcyclists would stop being fucking retarded and driving like assholes, you know, it's not my job to look out for them because they don't want to fucking follow the goddamn rules as well.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, that's how we rode our bikes. We rode in single file.
Yeah.
Batman, I have a question.
I even have an answer.
They had bikes in the prehistoric age?
Yes. And we had cars as well, albeit that you had to power them with your feet.
Oh my,
I learned something new.
he had a bike, but it's the one that had the really big wheel in the front and the little small in the back.
Well, the penny farthing.
Tyr, there's also something else we had in the past, which we've still got today.
What?
Called an unmarked fucking grave.
You know what else we got that we had in the past too? A big ass ocean. Come get me, bitch.
Yeah. It's called sailing.
I will meet you at the banks of the Chesapeake with my
Fighting in
cannons.
Knoxville.
No.
Nice. That's nice, because I'm coming through via tunnel, so I will undermine your fucking cannons and kill you in your sleep.
You gonna do a reverse Washington on me? Okay, I got that ass.
Bold of you to assume I haven't booby-trapped the grounds around me.
Exactly.
See, you're implying I come from the past. To me, that means I'm a character from a fantasy world. So I'm gonna come at you with the undead.
Here's a question.
No, he's gonna come at the lynch with the undead. Oh my!
What's up, Mitch?
And sorcery.
I just get
And dragons.
I'm annoyed with the tyranny that is law enforcement, right?
Uh-huh.
It's no longer law enforcement.
No, it isn't. But when you've told the cop who doesn't have a warrant to get off your property and they don't, would it be false imprisonment if your iron cage sprung up from the ground and surrounded them?
Nope.
If there was a warning on your property that this was in place, no.
This is a possibility that could happen if you do not get the fuck off my lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You were given ample time and warning to get off my lawn. You know, before the iron cage sprung up. Now I will release you. You know, when I get home.
On lawn, or I'll not tell you how to get out the minefield.
Yeah.
I won't give you the antidote to what? You like to know.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of law enforcement, I was listening to the radio. The sheriff.
Oh shit! I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Shit.
But tell Mitch about the
It was that good, huh?
Secretary's, education.
I think I told him about that once. The last episode that I was on was, it was the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Education, Superintendent of Education. I mean,
Oh yes.
he basically denying FOIA, not denying, ignoring FOIA
Just ignoring
requests.
the FOIA requests. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could have sworn we didn't talk about that. My bad.
He the plot thickens.
Ooh, the plot. She thickens.
But he's now under investigation by the feds.
Oh, good.
For what?
Everything.
Basically, he's not spent federal money correctly.
Oh shit!
I am pissed off. You know why I'm pissed off?
Why?
I got
Because you
beaten
keep
or
getting
killed by a
pissed on?
fucking crossfield class.
Oh, the sheriff story.
Yes.
There's been a lot of controversy in Oklahoma about the ATF.
Okay.
Right.
And the sheriff of Oklahoma County, my county, came out and said that if the ATF shows up at your house, don't open the door and call my office. We will be there shortly.
Nice.
Okay.
It's like we will check out and make sure the ATF does not violate your rights.
That's good. I like my local police force in my, specifically in my town, because even to this day, and it's happened quite recently, if somebody breaks into your house and you beat them up, they will tell you, local police will tell you that this guy tripped over and fell down the stairs.
I mean, the nice thing for like me, is the whole fact that if someone breaks into our house, it's like we're our homes and whatnot. It's state law that the only reason they have to break into your house, especially if you're there, is to sexually assault, kill, or do great harm to you.
Yeah.
So you have a right to defend yourself.
You've got the castle doctrine, I believe it's called.
Inside the house.
Yeah, we used to.
Not so much outside the house.
Not on the curtilage? That's horseshit.
I'm not 100%.
See, I take great issue with such things because,
Same.
yeah, people have a right to come knock on your door.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But the moment you tell them to leave, and this applies to law enforcement as well, and they refuse, you now have a right to protect your property. Because not leaving is a hostile act.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used that on my.
Yes.
I've used that. Right, my cousin's eldest son. He pissed me off. I told him to go go home. He thought I was joking. I wasn't. I told him again, get out of my house. He didn't. So I grabbed him by the I grabbed him from behind by his belt and his shirt collar. Literally picked him up, and he's taller than me, and threw him out the house.
There you go.
Batman, why didn't you beat him with the bat?
Because he's related to me, and I actually like the guy, but he pissed me off that day.
I'll accept that. Next time you beat me with a bat. Sorry.
The next time he pissed me off and I told him to go, he went.
Because he knew you weren't playing.
Well, that's because for even that whole thing, there isn't an implied consent in that whole thing. So if like I buy a house that's not fenced off with a gate, and that they have, it's like police and anyone else, like if you're trying to sell me something or not, has the implied consent that they can come to my house, to my door, and knock on my door. But as soon as I tell them to leave, they have lost that implied consent. Now, if I have a house or a property that is fenced off with a gate and trespassing signs that are like, I think it's supposed to be every 50 feet or whatnot, then and they go on, it's like if they break on, or it's like they go into my house and knock on my door, there was no implied consent. They weren't allowed on my property.
Right.
And that's the same for police.
Yes, it is.
I'll put you
Unless you explicitly invited them there because you were the one who contacted them.
One day I want to get a lot of money and buy a house. I want to booby trap the first step. If I don't like you or like you don't have I tell you to get the hell off my property, I will push a button and a spring will catapult you off my shit.
Oh no, I've got a better idea. If you don't get off my property, I press a button and you fall into the crocodile pit.
Are you going to have...
works.
See, your castle already has a moat. Why won't you add a crocodile pit?
Well, it wasn't good enough.
Ah.
People can swim.
He likes a little light screaming with his supper.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what? I've been watching a lot of Willy Wonka. I'm gonna have the Veruca salt treatment. Fall into a pit, goes into the furnace.
Oh, the educated educator.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, before,
Clearly, you are a bad egg.
I think you're more the Violet Beauregard type.
Now go and put her in the juicer.
Yeah.
you know,
Could have
this
been worse. Could have been the Mike TV type, you know. Put them on the rack.
Ooh. I mean, it could have been a Augustus Gloop type and fire her through a shoe.
Thank God it wasn't Mike TV.
It could have been a Your Mama Jokes type.
Well, that's like I am potentially at the place I may be buying in the next year or so. Going to look into the whole thing as if I could install a fence going around.
Again, he's going to get himself a trebuchet and get him an old-timey musket.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to be moving to, no, it was your parents that were moving to Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Yep.
15?
Yeah, we got family down there. I may eventually
Yeah.
also end up moving down there just
Yes.
because
I like
land's
you
pretty
now.
cheap.
Why?
Hey, I lived,
Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I lived there for 2 years, and you know, it wasn't bad.
But
You know, I thought living in central Oklahoma was kind of isolating because there wasn't anything around. Holy cow!
you're not
It's the whole
pronouncing it
thing.
right.
It's the whole thing. It always depends on where you live.
Mm.
But you're not pronouncing it right. The yacht is supposed to be extended for at least 5 minutes.
Oklahoma.
No.
Oh,
Let's not try. Let's not test that theory.
That's how we were taught how to spell Oklahoma.
Green acres is the light for me. Sorry, my bad.
And we were
Really?
nothing like that to play.
Where's my button? There it is.
Oh, I actually have. I thought of something today that would make a great. That was a story I wanted to tell you guys.
Okay.
And the reason why you don't want to have a trial in a small town.
Why?
You say a trial?
A trial, like being taken to court
Okay.
on charges. Well, this guy, I grew up with him. We went to high school together. He didn't bother me, but he was also kind of the town sleazebag.
Right.
He got sent up for burglary a couple times. He stole a car and dealt drugs. I mean, he was just a petty crook.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one day, I found out he was arrested for rape.
Ooh, okay.
I'm like, well, that tracks. But then I heard the circumstances behind it. Because I was talking to this guy, and he's like, yeah, was at this 3 months later, she fills out a police report. 3 months later, she fills out a police report saying that he raped her while they were at this party.
Right.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's kind of suspicious, but it's like, yeah, they don't have any. He's like, yeah, they don't have any The only witnesses were two of her friends that were there.
Mm-hmm.
There was no physical evidence. There was no rape kit or anything else done.
So it's her word against his.
Yep. And I'm like, well, I can see how this is going to go, guys. I mean, they can't convict him on that. There's not enough evidence there. And then it occurred to me, I'm in a town of 9,000 people, and the vast majority of them don't like this guy. And the person that was telling the story is like, well, he's probably going to go to prison anyways. Good riddance, either way.
People should only go to prison for what they committed, what they've done.
Yes.
I don't care how much of a bastard you are. If you're getting sent to prison for something you haven't done, you should be released.
Agreed.
And that was my thought on this. Like, yeah, this guy's a scumbag, and he probably does deserve to be in prison, but not for this. There's not enough evidence here, and everybody knows that hears this story, knows what's happening. This is her word against his. She probably got pissed off at him for some reason, and they concocted this story.
Most likely.
Yes.
I mean, and I say that because of the lack of physical evidence. And if you say there's no physical evidence, I'm assuming that includes torn clothing.
Yeah, and we all know the feminists
believe all women.
Oh, it's not just that. Yeah, they think. Yeah, it's a small price if an innocent man goes to jail for a rape he didn't commit.
Right.
No, that's not
because of the object lesson.
Yeah.
No, all right.
The object lesson is not to trust any woman.
And that's what, and Me Too destroyed women's chances in the workplace, because no man wants to mentor a woman because the chance of the Me Too allegation.
Well, what about Henry Cavill? He got attacked by the feminists because he said, he doesn't want to be alone with any woman.
Yeah, because he has too much to lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
They mocked
And 9 times out of 10, the simps will believe the woman because simp. That's why.
Yeah.
I honestly don't believe the whole rape allegations against Bill Cosby.
Nope.
And that
actually,
time frame, I mean,
there were women.
It's plausible. That's why I say it's plausible. But I'm pretty sure it was just the whole thing of like exchanging sexual favors for drugs.
Or not even sexual favors for drugs. Sexual favors to be put in his movie. Remember, he was on top of the world in the movie business.
No, I'm 90% sure for what it sounds like is like, or from what they've even Bill Cosby has said, that he quite literally got drugs for him, and then they had sex with him, but then they expected because they had sex with him that they were going to get a spot in a movie.
There were women who actually said, I believe at the trial, who'd been to his parties, they said, girls went to those parties because it could get high. And laid.
Oh, yeah.
But you knew what potentially could happen.
You knew what was
put
going to
yourself
happen
in that situation.
Yeah. It's like they're going about the casting couch.
Pretty much, yeah.
If actresses refused, the casting couch wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Things like that only work when both parties agree to it.
Yeah. Now, if you gave me credible evidence, like you got, a kit, a report, you got a kit and a report, fine, and I can't deny that. You have some evidence that this should happen, but you wait 60 years later, when the height of Me Too.
Yeah, then it's suspicious as all hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Christy Blasey Ford shit. You waited X amount of years to when he was, being put for Supreme Court judge, and not even that. You can give vague details. Oh well, this happened.
And then the whole thing, they're like, well, you got to believe her and the witnesses, when even the female witnesses are like, yeah, that didn't happen, and she was never there.
Yeah,
the Duluth model. I mean, if
And those were her witnesses, by the way.
yes,
there's also the fact that even today, if you're getting attacked by your girlfriend, wife, significant other, whatever, and you call the cops, and by the time the cops get there, you're half dead with knife wounds.
They'll still arrest you.
Yeah.
that's not entirely true.
It's more likely that you'll get arrested unless there is photograph. It's like videographic evidence or of someone reliable in that whole. It's like considered extremely reliable, because I have seen the one to where the woman was trying to get the guy arrested, get him kicked out of the house and whatnot, and it was his son. Wasn't her son, because they have 2 kids, but not that one, who was like, no, he assaulted her, or he assaulted her. She assaulted him.
Or you could have, it's the preponderance of the evidence. If she has no scratches on her, but he has scratches on him or has damage on him, he has the knife wounds and the cuts and stuff.
It's the best example is the Johnny Depp fucking trial with Amber Heard. Now, if Johnny Depp had been abusive to her, that trial wouldn't have, that would have been about a month, if that, right?
Yeah, if that.
And he would have been in jail.
Yes.
And he would have had to pay for damages.
Yes.
The fact that it was all, when the evidence came to light, it 100% vindicated him.
Yeah. It showed that
there
he
are
wasn't
still
the
people
greatest.
who believe. There are still people who believe that he was the abuser.
You have her on. You have her on a recording. I did not hit you. I did not deck you. I hit you. There's a difference.
Yeah.
She said that.
You're gonna go to the cops and tell them that I assaulted you? Who are they gonna believe? You or the woman?
Exactly.
Again, she recordings of her saying that, and then they caught her in the lie. You saying these are 2 different photos? They're not. You just have the brightness turned on.
Like, there was one that got me was she said when they were in Australia, he beat her savagely, breaking a bottle, and then he dragged her naked body through the glass. If that was the case, she would have been in hospital. There would have been hospital records. There would have been scars on her body.
Yep.
But she went on Jimmy Kimmel not that long after. One of these alleged assaults. She went on Jimmy Kimmel not that long after and was like, "Oh yeah, like promoting the movie."
That was just after she appeared in the papers with all the bruises, which had strangely disappeared. And no makeup can't hide bruises that well.
Yeah.
But it can make them seem like you've got them.
Well, with the whole Johnny Depp thing, it's like I can say from what I've seen, it's like, was Johnny Depp the perfect guy? Was he?
Oh no,
like, no. He was a bit of an asshole. It's like quite a bit of an asshole in a lot of that shit as well. But she was exponentially worse.
Yeah, but every ex partner he had testified on as a character on his behalf and said that when it came to relationships, he was cool.
Yeah, well, it's like he might have been an asshole in some situations, but he was never violent.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to look at the instigation factor. Clearly, Amber Heard instigated.
Oh,
and she shit in his bed.
That's an instigation.
She tried all she could to get him in. From what I've read, she tried all she could to get him so pissed off that he would attack her.
Yeah.
And when that didn't work, she just attacked him, and she's actually got history of doing such.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you excuse me, I've got to go and feed the furry bus. The smaller one, not me.
Gotta feed your cats.
Yeah. Wait, just the cat, singular.
You sound like a cat lady.
No, I'm a cat gentleman.
Hey, my cat likes to lay on the futon with his paw on his back with his paws curled. And it's just
My
so
cat's
fucking,
currently guarding my door.
it's so funny.
My cat's sitting beside me, staring at me. I better go and feed him. Shall return.
Right on.
I got a few pets around me. They're not doing anything and whatnot. They're just sitting there in case I need them because someone breaks in. And by pets, I mean guns.
So, God, the internet, something is conspiring me to try to get into a different part of the photography hobby for some reason.
Do it.
Because I keep seeing more and more things popping up in my feeds on YouTube and eBay and everything else about shooting 16mm film.
Hey, Travis, I say this with all sincerity. You have a talent, my friend, and I really think you should continue to pursue it.
Oh, I finally found it. I put my best picture I've ever taken in the Discord.
You did? Let me see.
Yeah.
How do I get to the Discord? No, there. The memes.
Yeah.
Who is that sexy beast?
That is she is a ballerina of the Oklahoma Ballet.
Do you mind if I show it on?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I think I showed this to Will the last time I was able to find. I keep losing it for some reason. I took it during I took a class on large format photography.
Let me see and particularly pick it up. Wait a minute, people. I'm saving the image, and I'm going to put it in pictures, large format, and then take the image directly. Don't mind me just talking to myself.
I need to break this camera out more. But every one of the shots costs about $30.
Hold on. Everybody, let me format it.
So I need to grab my one Canon that's not as good a camera, but it is one of the more expensive ones I have actually bought. I just gotta find the charger for it.
Our friend Travis's photo. It'll resize after a while. It is extremely good. Like, I swear to God, this man has a unique talent, and I really think he should pursue it.
It's really interesting how he got that third hand up behind the circle thingy there.
I know.
Weirdly enough, that's it was another person there that in the class that just all of a sudden she looks at me and I'm trying to take a picture. She's like, no. You need to highlight. You need more light fall on her face. Grabbed that reflector, ran over there, and just got in the middle of it.
Got in the middle of the shot, but that's what cropping is for, I suppose.
And I thought about cropping it, but honestly, I fucking love all of it.
No, all right.
Well, it's like, Travis is way better at photography than I am. Most of the time, I'm just using my phone. And like, it's really funny though. It's like, if you look at the picture that I think I have on Twitter of the Glock 26 that I finished, using my bed as the backdrop, so it's freaking posted up, like it's not as clear and everything, but then taking a picture of the fucking both sides of the frame of the Glock 17 I just picked up, the stripped frame, on my pant legs, it's like on my legs in my truck, looks exponentially better to where you can see the fucking threading of my pants.
Oh my.
And it's the same goddamn phone.
Phone cameras are fucking awesome in some cases.
Because like, I know the Canon camera that I have, it's like 10 years old for a digital camera and that whole thing, but I want to get it out and start fucking with it again.
I used to take photos when I was younger, and I had a little cheap phone cheap little camera I got at a pawn shop. And I was
Well,
fucking around with it.
I bought one because I planned on to try to go to some more anime conventions and whatnot.
Weeb.
And fucking
Yeah.
weeb.
I'm a fucking weeb.
No, but I've also taken a lot of terrible pictures.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
just what's
Called
gonna happen.
practice.
There was a meme that went around, and basically the first one was like a roll of 120 film that says can hold 12 pictures, 6 of them are good. There was a roll of next to it was a roll of 35 millimeter that says can hold 36 pictures, 6 of them are good.
Mm-hmm.
You
Next
just
to
don't
it,
know which 6.
the SD card can hold 2,000 pictures, 6. Some are good. And
Well, I know for a lot of it as well, especially like the phone cameras, lighting can be a bigger thing on that as well.
That is the big problem with them is that you're not as flexible in like aperture, shutter, and everything else. You're completely most of the time you're completely dependent on what the camera thinks you need to use at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I could on a regular camera, you got aperture, shutter. You could set the if you're digital, you could set the ISO and you could set your white balance. You can set the ISO film camera, but it's set by the film, sort of. There's a way you can get around that, but typically.
Oh, I mean,
Have
I've
you
got
heard Sakimoto. Let me look that up.
I was like, I've got a fucking film camera somewhere. You know, one of the ones where you actually pull the cover off, but if you want to pull the entirety of the casing off, you actually have to unscrew it from its case.
Yeah.
It's nice fucking formed leather case.
Oh, I love the that nice leather casing that they have on the older cameras.
Oh yeah.
Is it Friday this week that we're
Yes.
subbing in? Just
yeah, we're
I
subbing
needed the
in
reminder.
Friday. Yeah, we're subbing for Sanguine. All right, guys, I'm getting a little sleepy, so parting words, parting thoughts. Last chance to rib Mitch. Go.
Give me a minute, I'll come up with something.
Penny saved is worth 2 in the bush.
If you're not willing to take advice from them, don't take criticism from them.
Actually, I'll go with this one as well, which is one I learned in the military for that one. If you have to supervise someone and you're giving them their rating and whatnot, if you wouldn't hire them to work in your own it's like in your own company, rate them that way. Even if you like the person, you're doing them no favors. Otherwise.
Mitch, you got anything?
The chicken that clucks the loudest is the one most likely to go to the steam fitters picnic.
Batman, are you back?
Guess who's back? Back again.
Batman's
it's not
back.
Batman.
I guess I'll say this: if you can dance if you want to, you can leave your friends behind. If your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're probably friends of Mitch.
What?
Nothing.
Ah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming out. Tomorrow is the Minion Discord day. Wednesday is the One Ton Hammer with Tyr Alexander Genty Maxie's Wednesday show. Thursdays is Johnny Hellcats. This Friday, me and Mitch will be subbing in for Sanguine, so expect another Minions in Space. and then Saturday is the Harry channel. So, and then Sunday is the lovable Kefki. God damn it, Carsten, you come in, we're leaving.
This is how it works.
We'll play the outro, and I thank everybody for coming out, and hope to see you again.
Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. Take me home.
I'm just looking forward to tomorrow. Find out when I can. Not tomorrow.
Closing
Wednesday.
time.
The tooth scan, and I
You
find out
don't
when I
have to
actually
go
be able
home,
to
but you
put the
can't
fake tooth in.
stay here.
And the only funny part was I was talking with my folks because